What way to better refresh your perspective on life than by flipping it upside down? My name is Catherine Budig, and we're going to play around with your inversion practice today. So what you're going to need to do is make sure that you have a clear wall space that you can practice with, and I also want you to grab a block and a strap. So we're going to begin our practice in downward facing dog. Okay, hands shoulder width, feet hip width, root into the heels of the hands, elongate and pull back. So first few breaths, just really work on finding that lift of the sits bones, extension through the lower back, pressing the tops of the thighs back, pressing the shins back, even getting the heels to stretch back away from the toes, lengthening through the sole of the foot. Good. Breathing space into the upper body. And from here, we're going to shift forward, come into plank pose. So shoulders stack over the wrists. You might need to wiggle your feet back a few inches to get that long line of energy. So heels, hips, and shoulders, one long line. Imagine that weight in your back so you can engage the belly, pressing the belly up into that imaginary weight. Then taking the gaze forward, keeping the belly strong. Take a big inhale, lower halfway, chaturanga, elbows firm in, shoulder heads keep lifting. Lower all the way down onto your stomach. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Squeeze the arms to straighten them. Bring the shoulder blades into the heart. Then press into your stomach to lift up through the chest. Careful not to lift the chin too high so you keep space in the back of your neck. You can also start to elevate the pinkies up towards the ceiling to open the chest. And then release, undo the hands. Place the palms flat next to your ribs. So baby cobra. Inhale, small lift for the first one. So only high enough that the hands can still get up off of the mat. And exhale, release. Again, a little bit bigger. Inhale, chest up. Ribs lift up, and exhale, release. One more, cobra, inhale, maybe full. You can start to lift the navel, engage the legs, press the toenails down, open up through the chest, and exhale, release. So keep the palms flat, curl the toes under, lift the kneecaps up, engage your quads, firm the elbows in, shoulder heads lift, look forward, take a big inhale from your stomach, press, plank pose, straight arms, and downward facing dog, stretch it back. We're going to move on from here. So pick the right leg up into the air. Inhale and exhale. Step the foot forward to meet your hands. Spin the back heel down. First warrior, inhale. Arms reach up. So root through the pinky edge of the back foot. Start to square the hips off, rolling the inner thigh back. And then we're going to add Garudasana, eagle arms. Bend the elbows and drop the right elbow underneath the left. So you can either squeeze, or if you can, bring the palms all the way together to press. And then from here, think in terms of threes. Drop the shoulder blades down, nice. Lift the elbows up, maybe in line with your shoulders. Then press the forearms away from your face. You can stay like this so you feel expansion in your upper back. Or if you want more, start to back bend. Let the head fall back. Point the fingertips towards the back of the room. Keep lifting the elbows up. Lift up through the rib cage. Drop down through the tailbone. Keep lunging into your warrior leg. Good. And then come back into that first position. Look forward. You might get a lightheaded, so pause. Undo the arms. Full warrior one. Reach the arms straight up. And then place the hands down onto the mat. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot. Pause. You're going to drag your right foot behind your hands. Place your palms flat. Arms are straight. Shoulders stack. Gaze slightly forward to the fingertips. We're going to practice little tiny hops towards a handstand. Just towards, not into. So keeping this leg up, bend your right knee, tiny little hop up and down. That's it, right? So reach the top leg, little hop up and down. Firm those arms straight, elbows in, one more, hop up. Good, and down, good. Then step back into plank pose. Keep the gaze forward, lower halfway, exhale. Cobra or up dog, lift the chest, inhale, and downward facing dog. Exhale, pick the left leg up, inhale, reach. Exhale, step the foot forward. Back heel roots, first warrior, inhale, arms lift up. Take a moment to find the warrior, lift up through the sides, square off through the ribs, then bend the elbows, drop the left elbow underneath the right. So again, either firm the forearms in towards each other, if you can, get the palms to press, release through the tips of the blades, elevate through the elbows, firm away through the hands and the forearms, and stay like this, or let the head fall back. Fingertips are going to start to point back. Elbows keep reaching away from the ground so you get this almost limbo style lift in your chest. Tailbone releasing so you don't sit in the lower back. Good. And then come back, look forward, pause. And full Vira one, arms reach straight up. Good. Hands to the ground. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot. So a couple more hops. Lift the right leg up. Stack the shoulders directly over the wrists. Firm the forearms in, gazes forward. Little tiny hops, just a little hop up and down. Just tiny, touch of air time. Little hop up and down. Good, just one more like that. Little hop up, reach through that top leg and down. Good, step back to plank. Look forward, chaturanga, exhale. Up dog, inhale, spread through the chest. And downward facing dog, exhale. Good. Pick the right leg up into the air. Inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward to meet your hands. Back heel roots, inhale, arms reach up. And then open it up, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Open it, heel to arch alignment. So here we're gonna add cow face arms, Gomukhasana. So this is when you might wanna have your strap handy. You're gonna take your right arm straight up, left arm down. Bend both of your elbows. You're gonna snuggle the left hand up the spine to try to grab your hands. Now if you can't find your hands, you're gonna grab your strap. You'll hold it in the top hand. Hold on to that strap with both hands. And this is gonna give you some more space in the chest. But firm the outer tricep in so you can shrink through the armpit. Soften through the face. Stay low in the legs, elevating through the sides. Good. And then you're gonna undo the arms, release the strap or fingertips. Spread full Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And we're gonna lead into a few more of those kicks. So both hands to the mat, pivot onto the ball of the back foot. Drag the right foot behind the hands. Palms are flat, arms are straight, shoulders stack. Left leg stays up. This time, this leg is gonna stay straight. This leg is going to bend. Knee to the chest, heel to the bottom. So just a little hop, knee to the chest, heel to the bottom. That's it, a little tap. Knee to the chest, heel to the bottom. Good, one more, reaching through that top leg, a little kick. Beautiful, and back down. Step back to plank pose, look forward, lower halfway, exhale. Cobra or up dog, inhale, and downward facing dog. Pick the left leg up, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, step the foot forward. Back heel roots, Warrior 1, inhale. Warrior 2, exhale, open it up, heel to arch. Good, okay? So again, have your strap handy if you need it. If you don't need it, right arm is gonna drop down. Left arm will reach up, bend both of the elbows. You're gonna swim that bottom hand up the spine, then reach for the fingertips, okay? So strap or hands. Then shrink the armpit in, hug the tricep, soften through the ribs, elongate through the spine, really soft, steady gaze, full of breath, opening up through the chest, preparing for these inversions. Good. And then full Vira 2, undo the arms, spread, stretch through the fingertips. We're going to lead back into some of those kicks, leading with the back arm. Place the hands down into the mat, okay? Lift the right leg up. Arms are straight, powerfully straight, really from the forearms in. Keep the gaze forward. Tiny, tiny little hops. Right leg up, knee to the chest, heel to the bottom. That's plenty. Knee to the chest, heel to the bottom. Tiny package, knee to the chest, heel to the bottom. Good. And down, step back to plank. Look forward, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale, and downward facing dog. Exhale. And from here, drop to your knees. Take child's pose. A few breaths here, rest, releasing into the upper back. Just let that go. Melt the forehead, root through the tailbone. Okay, and those kicks just stay very, very tiny. It doesn't matter if your foot leaves the ground this much. That's where it begins. Petite hops that are gonna lead eventually to pulling you up into a full handstand. So we're gonna work on Dolphin Pose to open up the upper back for our headstand practice. And I'd like you to have a strap handy. So this strap is gonna help prevent any kind of splaying. So what often happens when we set up into a dolphin, the elbows go out and then we collapse into the neck. So we wanna work this strap is gonna help us preventing any kind of splayage. So you measure this from shoulder head to shoulder head. We're gonna slip this directly above the elbows. Okay, so she's locked in and she's ready to go. She's gonna place the forearms down onto the mat. Gaze is slightly forward, curl the toes under, lift the hips up, and she'll start to walk it in. Now, as you walk it in, it's going to be easy to sit in the shoulders. So keep rooting down into the forearms to pull up. Relax through the neck. If this feels really intense, you're gonna stay like this. If you can add on a little bit, lift your right leg up into the air. Spread your toes like you wanna tickle the ceiling. Reach for the sky, spread through the back of the knee, preparing yourself to come all the way upside down. Good, set the foot down. Pick the left leg up, spread through the toes, reach. Keep lifting, space in your neck. Good, and set it down. Drop down onto your knees. Again, child's pose, remove the strap. Relax your shoulders, relax, okay? So, we're ready to go to the wall now. Let's take your strap with you. We'll move the block out of the way. We're going to practice Shosanna, traditional headstand. We're going to practice tripod headstand, and we're going to practice handstand. Okay, so first, we're going to practice traditional Shosanna A, headstand. So this variation, we interlace the fingers, and you're going to take the baby pinky and tuck it underneath so it doesn't get smushed when you go to the wall. So interlace the fingers, place the knuckles against the wall. You're going to place the crown of your head right in front of the heels of the hands. Top of the wrist stacked directly underneath the bottom edge of your wrist. Elbows are shoulder width apart, shoulder heads lift, curl the toes under, start to walk your toes in, okay? Keep the shoulders lifting. It's so easy to sit into the shoulders here. Now, this is a great place to begin. You're gonna build not only space, but strength in your upper body to prepare yourself for a headstand. If you're ready to step it up, you're gonna take one leg and bend the knee in towards the chest, as tight as you can. This is going to engage through the hip flexor. Again, this may be plenty, you just work like this. If you can muster a little bit of a kick, bend the left knee, give yourself a little hop, and pull the legs all the way up towards the wall. Once you get up, flex your feet, pull the heels up the wall, lift the tailbone up towards the wall, soften the rib cage in, keep lifting through the shoulders. Imagine you could slide a piece of paper underneath your head. Good. Or a very thin novel. Okay, and then bend the knee back into your chest, set the foot down, and child's pose, rest. So we're gonna enter tripod headstand now. So, coming out of child's pose, we're gonna come back onto the crown of the head, but this time we're gonna add chaturanga arms. So you're gonna drag the hands back, heels of the hands directly underneath the elbows, elbows firm in, curl the toes under so we come into dolphin pose here. Now the shoulder heads keep lifting up, elbows keep firming in. If this is really intense, you're just gonna work your dolphin pose until you feel that you can hold this for at least 8 breaths. If you feel pretty solid in that position, we're gonna add on. You're gonna take the right knee, lightly place the knee onto the tricep. So don't push the muscle down, you're just lightly, daintily dusting it onto the arm. That's enough, stay there. If you can add on, place the left knee onto the tricep as well. Keep lifting the shoulder heads up and just hold. Maybe get the big toes to touch, inner heels come together to engage through the midline, and then set the feet back down onto the ground, child's pose, drop, and rest. Take a few breaths here, totally release through the shoulders, okay? So that's a great sequence, keep working on that. When you feel strong in that sequence, we can start to add on and pull yourself up into the full headstand. So again, setting up into dolphin, come back onto the crown of the head, wrists are directly underneath the elbows, elbows firm in, curl the toes under, walk it in, shoulders keep lifting up, very nice. One knee to the tricep, very light and dainty. Second knee to the tricep, light and dainty. Now, big toes and inner heels touch, keep the midline, hugging them together, pull from your belly, lift through your tailbone to suck the legs up like a straw to the ceiling. Spread through the toes, reach for the sky, work on balance here, or you can take the legs all the way over, heels to the wall. Flex through the feet, keep reaching up through the heels, that energy pulling up like an elevator all the way to the heels. Keep checking in, make sure you're in alignment in the bottom, and then bringing one knee back into the chest. Bring the second knee back into the chest and right down into your child's pose. Release, forward fold, let it go. Soften the shoulders and melt, okay? So we've got our headstand, we have our tripod headstand, and now we're gonna play around with handstand. So if you're fearful of your elbows giving out and buckling down and coming onto your head, you're gonna grab your strap and you're gonna put that lasso right above the elbows again, and that's gonna help keep your arms firm and not allow them to bend when you kick up. If you feel like you're pretty good, you can skip the strap and just come into your downward facing dog. Fingertips about 8 inches or so away from the wall, curl your toes under and press back into downward facing dog. Now from here, you're gonna shift your shoulders over your wrists. Good, walk the feet in just a hair. Keep the gaze slightly forward of your fingertips. Now lift whichever leg you naturally want to pick up. There you go. Keeping the gaze forward, we'll start with tiny little hops. You're going to bend your left knee, just a little hop up and down. That's a great place to start. Hips towards the wall, little hop up, arms are straight and down. Then give it a little more juice, hop up all the way over to the wall. Uno más, one more time. Good. And then press down, lift up through the tailbone, suck up through the heels. Keep the gaze and neck soft. Feel that energy pulling up like that straw. And then take the top leg down. Uttanasana, forward fold, dangle, and rest. Okay, so if you don't get the kick up right away, do not panic. It took me forever to figure out how to get into a handstand. Months upon months of obsessively trying to kick up. So when the time is right, it will happen. And until then, just keep practicing these kicks towards your handstand. Now, if you've been practicing handstand for a while and you're ready to step it up, we're gonna play around with a bent knee pike. So she's gonna come back onto the palms. This time we're gonna walk the feet in closer. So we're about 12 to 15 inches away from the heels of the hands. Gaze is forward, arms are straight, shoulders stacked. But your mantra here is going to be knees to the chest, heels to the bottom, hips up. Knees to the chest, heels to the bottom, hips up. Look forward, little tiny hop, tiny package, and down. Again, knees to the chest, heels in, and down. Imagine the ceiling just got really low and you're trying to smack your bottom into the ceiling. There it is. Beautiful. And then pull the legs up. There's that straw energy again. Take the legs to the wall, flex the feet, pull up. So lots of ab work to pull into this style of a handstand. And if that's what you're in the mood for, if that's the du jour, you go for that. If you're going for the lighter one, just practice those kicks one leg at a time. Then take one of your legs away from the wall, come all the way down, Uttanasana, forward fold, release. Just a long dangle. Surrender the work, surrender your neck. You can sway here, you can just hang. Good. Full breath release. Okay, and then we're going to take our mats back to the center of the room. Roll up the spine, grab the mat, and let's come on back. Okay, so we're going to take hip openers. We're going to do either thread the needle or double pigeon. We're going to show you both, and once you get used to the one that you want to play around with, that's the one that you're going to stick with, and you're going to hold it for a longer amount of time. So for thread the needle, go ahead and lie down on your back. Okay, bend the knees, and crossing the right ankle above the left kneecap, you're going to weave the right arm in between the legs, left arm to behind the hamstring, interlace the fingers, then gently hug into your chest until you start to feel some surrender and release in your glutes. Okay, so this is thread the needle. You can keep holding here if you feel a lot of sensation. This is going to be a great hip opener for you. And let's switch sides. Okay, so left ankle below the knee, rotate externally, opening up the hip. Left arm weaves in between the legs. Right hand wraps around. Interlace the fingers behind the hamstring. If you want to deepen it, you can lace it behind the shin bone. And then start to pull in towards the chest. Relax through the shoulders. Breathe space into your glutes. And let that go. Okay? If you're ready for a slightly deeper hip opener, roll up to sit. We're going to take double pigeon. So double pigeon is crossing ankle over knee. So we'll do left ankle right above the kneecap on the flesh of the thigh, flexing through the foot, spreading. You can either sit tall here or inhale, lift up, walk the hands forward, and fold. Melt through the head, release through the neck. Again, whichever hip opener you choose, hold there at least 1 to 2 to 3 minutes, maybe even 5 if you have the time. And we'll walk back up, changing through the legs, cross the right ankle over the left, flexing through the foot. Inhale, root down as you lift up through the chest, and forward fold, walk the hands. Melt through the neck, release through the upper back, slow down the breath. This is when we start to enter the more meditative part of the practice. Good. Walk the hands back in. Release the legs. Lie down onto your back. Okay, happy baby. Bend your knees. Grab the pinky edges of your feet. Separate the feet and your knees. Let them drop down to either side of the hips. Keep your tailbone heavy and extending. You can rock side to side here, massaging onto the spine. Good. It's going to help to release after all the upper body work that you just did. And then hug the knees into your chest one more time. Give yourself a big squeeze. Seal it in. You made it. It's appreciation. And then release your legs. Release your arms. Get a slight lift of your heart. Snuggle your shoulder blades down the back. Beautiful. And then getting settling in. Take one more big inhale. Fill it up. And send it through your mouth. With that, take rest. Shavasana. Release.